So hey guys, we just saw that the Warcraft 3 patch, the January 19th patch is out. New update is available for download. Please download it now. 135.019882, quite a mouthful. Finally for real on the live server, not just on the PTR. So, here are the final patch notes. We're going to be having custom campaigns, balance update, map pool updates, leaderboard fixes, season role updates, additional improvements, and bug fixes. Thank you to all community content creators. You're welcome. Oh, for creating new maps and updating old maps. Well, actually, I did a little bit of feedback for that too. Players can now download custom campaigns to play or create their own, just like they have been able to since 2002 until 2020. That's nice. Some custom campaigns can be played using either Reforged or Classic art, and a bunch of mambo jambo that you can pause if you'd like to read it. I move on to the next phase, Ranked. The season will roll on January 19th when patch 135 goes live. Actually, I saw, technically this is not wrong, but the patch wasn't out yet until now, like a minute ago, but some people already played more than 10 games on the new season. So, funnily enough, they opened the new season in the morning, and then in the evening they did the patch, which means that technically not all new games of the season are on that patch, but whatever. We initially planned for this season to last 1 year, like in Singapore. Summer all year around, one season suits all. So not like Netherlands. We initially planned for the season to last 1 year, but we may adjust the end date based on player feedback. MMR, I think 1 year season is really long and tedious. I think it should be 3 months normally. Maybe 6. 1 year feels kind of inert to me. MMR for all races and modes will be reset during the season rollover. Players will begin the new season with placement matches. Updated the map pool, 1v1, 2v2 and 4v4. I hope they got the most updated versions of all the players and map makers this time, because sometimes they use older versions. Leaderboard caching has been updated to be more responsive. The leaderboard will now update correctly. Okay, I wonder if this will fix the fact that it displayed some people as having played literal tens of millions of games in the space of a week. Literal 10... I know, maybe you think I'm being hyperbolic, I'm not. The leaderboard would show some people as having played tens of millions of games in under a year. Or under a week. Which is... It would be funny if they actually just acknowledged it. Mamak said, I had 500 million wins, it's crazy. Are you accusing them of not playing 10 million games? No, I'm not saying that they haven't. I'm just saying it's unlikely, but allegedly they didn't have that much time in their free time to play 500 million games. This balance update began with a wide range of changes that the team wished to test, some more experimental than others. Our approach with this patch was to first take a look at various community feedback with the goal of diversifying strategy and reducing frustration. We then watched and read a number of community posts, and we played a great deal of multiplayer matches on the ladder with player feedback in mind. We then analyzed game data. Be funny if they said we played against Happy and got an easy win, but in that game we were testing Death Knight dealing 0 damage and Grunts dealing 600 damage. To find out what ultimately would work, we put many changes into a PTR build as early as possible and then playtested and calibrated further. This is a good system. I mean, this is, I think this is good. Right? Testing in this manner, iterative. I think that's good. So I like their approach. It was visible. Regarding the Siege Engine rework, we wanted to experiment with giving the unit an alternative role other than merely killing buildings in one-on-one. Ultimately, there would end up to be too much overlap with other human units, and due to the loss of the fortified armor, it would become less unique. We may revisit the Siege Engine at another time. We want to thank you for all the community members who put their time and energy into providing feedback. We read your online posts and watch your videos and found it all very helpful. Yeah, this is just a really big improvement from Blizzard the 2 years before. right? This is just a really, really big improvement. All of this, what they say, is also what we have seen in the last few months. So here are the final balance patch changes. Altar Hero gold cost reduced from 425 to 400. Revive time factor has been reduced. This is a reduction, guys, of about... How much is this? 7%? Is that about 7%? 8%. Now, 33, 66, 99, 110 for the first 4 levels. Blacksmith lumber cost reduced from 60 to 40. Peasant health plus 10. Spellbreaker armor plus 1. Control magic now tier 3. Siphon mana drain rate. Drains a little bit less at level 2 and 3. 5 less. Polymorph cost minus 20 mana cost. Mechanical critter sight range plus 150. Siege engine barrage damage plus 2. Siege engine had a bug where it would decrease in unit level when getting barrage, making it give less experience when killed. That's no longer the case. Mass teleport plus 10, now 30 seconds. Staff of Sanctuary cost reduced from 250 to 200, minus 50. Orb of Fire, minus 2 damage. Orb of Fire, minus 75 gold cost. Headhunter, 10% build time increase from 20 to 22. Blade Master mirror images now deal 15% base damage. Blade Master mirror images now give XP relative to their level. Okay, some people theorize this is way too much because sometimes a level 6 Blade Master could do a quick image to break Entangle, even though he has only 100 life. And then you would have 2 images that each have 100 life, that take bonus damage due to their illusory status, that would together give 150 experience, which is more than some heroes may give. It's as much as a Frostworm. So every time you break Entangle with a nearly dead mirror image at level 6, you give a Frostworm worth of experience. No more even. Because it's not just 2 images, it could be 3 images. So that feels like a lot. My simple answer to that would be just don't use mirror image that way then. The nature of mirror image, when it's like this, has changed. Whether this ends up being too much XP or not, remains to be seen through testing, but as a player that adapts to changes, if you accept these changes, this is the current iteration of the patch, right? We can give more feedback on it, but being as how this is it now, we now don't have the power to change this in the next few days. This is the current patch. And I have reason to believe, based on the track record of the last few months, that they are reading feedback and will do more changes even. Not just leave it here and go away forever again. So, there will be chance to influence their thoughts with well thought out arguments, examples and so on. But in this current state, we need to stop using images like that. To break from an entangle and then feed lots of XP. Just like you wouldn't feed feral spirits or water elementals to destroyers. Which, although it won't be 100 life, it's like the life doesn't matter either. Because it's dispelled and eaten like that. So they are now summons that deal damage, which is a big buff, let's not forget. Now it's a summon that deals damage instead of just confusion factor and dispel. Troll Bat Riders Liquid Fire. Great change. Now only does a repair rate reduction of 75, not 100%. Endurance, movement speed, a little bit down. Witch Doctor Stasis Trap, 7 seconds. This has the biggest impact in team games and FFA. Not so much in one-on-one. People are too good to stop this usually. Brute Strength. Grunt will be from 800, now 825. Bladestorm cooldown. 2 minutes instead of 3. Great Hole. Minus 10 seconds. Now 140 second build time.
Watch out.
As one of my dear moderators told, Farseer changes were not in those patch notes, but it is true indeed that the Feral Spirits are 10 mana extra and Chain Lightning is 10 mana cheaper.
It is certain.
So, not in the notes, previously had been mentioned in the PTR notes, and it's true. So that's a pretty big change too. Tranquility from 1 minute to 2 minutes. Starfall from 3 minutes to 2 minutes cooldown. Starfall mana cost from 200 to 150, 50 fewer. Entangle, same duration at level 1, but 1 second shorter at level 2 and 5 seconds shorter at level 3. This will help Torrents, Knights. This will help Torrents and Knights the most. And this one will have the biggest impact on Headhunters. Headhunters with Troll regeneration survive 18 seconds. But Headhunters without Troll regeneration die. I want to see if without regen and without extra additional basic attacks, a 17 seconds actually kills a Headhunter or not. There may be an important breaking point there. Thorn Aura damage. 15, 30 and 45% damage return. Instead of 10, 20, 30. That's a big buff. Mountain Giants now have 2 additional physical armor. 2 additional armor. But their Hardened Skin Tier 3 upgrade will now only reduce incoming damage by 8 instead of 12. Ultra Vision now can only be researched at Tier 2, not at Tier 1. Immolation Mana Drain down by 1 from 7 to 6 per second. Immolation damage interval happens twice as frequently, every half second now instead of every 1. Immolation damage is reduced, but keep in mind that it is increased because it happens twice as often. Immolation goes up 60%, 60%, 80% at each respective level, while also being about 14% cheaper per second. The mana cost is also down by the same amount, 14%. Activation cost, wait, Immolation mana cost reduced from 35 to 30, activation cost 20, mana required 10. What? Oh, what? Wait. Is this like how it works behind the scenes? They say mana cost 30, but it's actually 20, but it immediately consumes 10. Activision? Activision cost everything. This is the most corporate post I've ever read. No. Okay. Druid of the Talon Crow damage now is piercing. The damage is reduced from 34 to 26. Druid of the Talon Crow for mana cost reduced from 50 to 25. And starting mana for Claw Druids is 100 once again, just like it used to be, instead of 125. Undead. Anti-magic shield can now receive the same summon magic damage inflicted by Dispel, Purge, and Abolish magic. Unholy Aura movement speed bonus reduced. Thanks a lot for the sub, Frozen Yeti. Unholy Aura movement speed bonus reduced from 10%, still 10, 17.5, now 15, 25, now 20%. Just the same as Endurance. Animated dead corpses can now be killable and have Disease Cloud if that had been researched. Death Knight's animated dead corpses are not dispellable still. Disease Cloud reduced from 1.5 minutes, 15 seconds less to just 1 minute and 15 seconds. Obsidian statues now give 60 XP instead of 40. Obsidian statue mana restoration cut by 50% from 3 per pulse to 2 per pulse. Haunted Goldmine build time increased from 100 to 110 seconds, 10 extra. Dark Ritual cooldown reduced from 25 to 20, but it used to be 15. This is a change from a previous patch note, so it's actually up by 5. Dark Ritual mana return reduced from 33, 66, 100% of the life that you ate to 33, 55, 80%. Down a bit on level 2 and 3. Yeah, it's less of a dark ritual now, more of a dim ritual. Kind of an opaque, a grey ritual. Twilight ritual. Wand of Illusion charges item is now 2 instead of 3. Wand of Mana Steel is now double 65 instead of double 50. Legion Doomhorn movement speed is 5% instead of 7.5. Endurance 5% item instead of 7.5. And then some bug fixes and improvements. Added additional arbitrary zoom levels. rather than just allowing us to add a number and picking it ourselves. There are these fixed zoom levels. My favorite one is still not covered. Blizzard, could you add 1920? That's what I use. A bunch of other fixes. And that's it. That's the final patch notes. Alright, let's go play.